So it's the morning after the night before. Apologies that this is late. I'm away on holiday. I'm staying in a hotel where, for some mad reason, people decide to keep their kids up until 12:30, 1 in the morning. Blows my mind.
Right, well, I just got back from Luton Town 1, Wigan Athletic 0. Well, actually, I clearly didn't just get back, did I? Look, it's bright out there. I live a long way away. It wasn't back till after midnight, so I'm not recording it then. And Ollie's on holiday, like he gets. So I thought I'd give my thoughts. Clearly, a bit of a divisive game, even within some of the groups that I'm in. Very different opinions on it. So I'm going to give my opinion on what I thought the game looked like overall. Quite difficult because there were moments that were really good and moments that were really bad. I'll start with the bad, and then we'll move on to the good, which is obviously that we won and we got 3 points and everyone should be happy about that. Okay, bad stuff. Back three, everybody wants to cover the same ground. Link up play with the midfield doesn't work very well. Wing backs end up being too far further back so that they can't get forward or get stranded and isolated, and then for opposition can get in behind. And there doesn't seem to be a middle ground that works. Right. McGuinness clearly still suffering for whatever illness he had pre-season as well. Look, I'm not blaming Bloomfield for including him this time, considering that Anderson's injured again, hopefully not for too long this time. But I'm not overly mad about him being involved, right? I'm a little bit sad that Chigozzi's the one not on the bench, other than Holmes. Whatever. Longwick back into central defence, thank God, as well. But for me, that lack of consistency of a back three is a massive problem. We saw it last season. We're seeing it again now. At the start of last season under Rob Edwards, the back three changed every week and it's happening again. And that means that players just don't know where they're supposed to be in that congested area. And it means that opposition teams can get in behind. And please, look, if we think we've got something or an official's got something wrong, don't just stand there with your hand up and let in the opposition attack. So the shot that hit the post in the first half, poor pass out from us, and then the guy got in behind on their left. And you've got players like Cal, you're the captain, just standing there with your hand up. Look, get back and defend. And left with a one-on-one with Bramwell. He saw it out, and then obviously the shot came in. Look, we get it. Officials aren't always going to get it right. And a lot of the time, their counterattacks came from poor refereeing decisions, not seeing fouls. Could have been considered, some of them soft. Offsides, I can't tell you whether they were offside or not. I sat in F block. Impossible to know. But regardless, not given, get back, defend it. Frustrating. So, defensively, I thought we started okay. And then as soon as they got in once, we started to panic. We did that Luton thing of panicking. We scored early, of course, which we could have seen as a really good thing, but it meant that we're in front. Don't know what to do, and panicked a little bit. Okay. Middle of the park as well, just giving the ball away for fun sometimes. Walsh, who is usually a consistent player, and I really like Walsh, rate him. I know not everybody does, but first half, he thought we were playing in blue and white stripes. Second half much better, by the way, and that didn't help either. And then finally, just when we get into the final third, we just seem bereft of ideas on what to do, backwards, sideways, etc. There isn't anyone in the first half, at least, willing to break the lines. That changed when Ali moved positions and when Nordas came on. Okay, so it was a frustrating first half, but I would say that we certainly created enough that made me think when this clicks, it can be really exciting. So on to the positive stuff. So there was some positives in the first half. Firstly, we scored a goal. We scored it. They didn't score it for us. Lovely little bit of play. A really good delivery, and Saville finished it off into the bottom corner. Lovely, lovely goal. I think the deliveries have been far better this season, actually. And I don't mind the inventive corners and set pieces when you're playing against giants. Like, you've got Wigan players there who seem taller than the main stand. There's no point in just chucking it in. So I like that. Saville's got a delivery on him. Bramall can cross it. And we all know Clicker can put a decent cross in as well. So I've been really pleased with that. A lovely ball in Saville. Nice, cool finish as well. Really pleased for him. Thought he had a good game. Breaking up play. So, yeah, excellent goal, well made. And at that point, I don't think they'd got into our half. You just thought, yes, this is where it starts to click. Bit of confidence. Early goal means we can then push on from there and we can really make the most of it. Okay, so I'm not going to go back to negatives. Other positives for me, I think going forwards, I think the wingers have both shown. So we'll talk Ali and Kadir, but particularly Ali. That was his best game in Luton shirt this season. Going forward as a front two, he wants to occupy the same space as Bramall, and that was a bit of a problem in the first half. As soon as he was moved out to the wing/wing back, and we all want him to play on the wing instead, different player. I mean, he was running at players. He ran half the length of the pitch. Brilliant shot. He also had a good shot from about 30, 35 yards out. His goalkeeper did well to save. So he looked a different player as soon as he was put on that wing, and he had a point to prove. So let's hope that is the start of the Millie Ali that we know. And if that's the case, puts it in even sharper focus that we need to play our forward, attacking, exciting players in the position that they should be in. And for me, that means Ali on the left wing, Kadir on the right wing, and fullbacks behind them. Okay, we might have to put a little bit of round pegs in square holes until we get at least one more fullback through the door, and you'd hope that we do. All right. But for me, I don't mind Longwick on the right-hand side, not on the left, clearly against Bradford and Wimbledon, but on the right-hand side, I'm fine with that. And at least then it means that our forward players are playing in those positions and can get balls across to Wells, Yates and Nordas. So I thought that was really optimistic. Clicker, again, brilliant. He just is on the ball. He is a joy to watch. I want him on the ball more. I want him deeper. I think most people have said the same thing. I kind of want to see him in a double pivot with Saville, just to start linking up the play that way. He just makes things happen whenever he's on the ball. A couple of lovely moves involving Clark. In the first half, he passed about 3 or 4 players and it just got caught under his foot. The keeper made a good save. That would have been an absolutely outstanding goal. And then finally, when the link-up play does work going forward, although it's few and far between, there was some glimpses of what we could expect for the rest of the season. Jerry Yates is miles off it for me at the moment, probably just a fitness issue, you would hope. But there was a lovely move involving him, the back heel that he put towards Kadir, who should have shot early and ended up being brilliantly closed down by the defender. Wasn't a penalty. The Naismith shout 2 minutes later, however, I think is a decent shout, less likely to be given in League One. Anyway, the link-up play that is there. Okay, we just need to get it into those good areas. Other positives, Nordas. Wow. I mean, I've been critical of the guy, but how he hasn't scored at least one goal in that game is beyond me. Header off the line from the defender and a brilliant shot. Wrong foot at the goalkeeper and hit the post. He looked sharp. He held the ball up. He passed it on to others. He kept it up the pitch. He was the reason for me that the ball never entered our half, apart from when we went into panic mode in the last 5 minutes of the game. And that last 10 minutes, we created probably more than we did in the whole match. So, you know, after those comments from Bloomfield about him not being quite ready, every time he's been on the pitch, he's made things happen. So for me, he has shown that we can include him to hold the ball up and help link up play and play in more than one way. And I hope Bloomfield gives him more of a chance, because he just looked really exciting and someone who's not afraid to have a shot and keep it on target as well. So Nordas for me, real positive. I thought Zach Nelson did really well when he came on too. Just basically said, don't worry about defending and just bomb forward most of the time, but it was great. tricked his way past players in his own half a couple of times as well. A little bit scary, but did very, very well. He's been hot and cold, not been given much of a chance, but also shows the depth that we can have there as well. So I think overall, we can come away with that game, particularly after the second half, and think how we didn't put it to bed earlier. Yes, we panicked at the end. Yes, I was shouting and swearing on the stands about us playing, 5 or 6 centre-backs at one point, and inviting pressure from a team that didn't know what the Oak Road half looked like. Just seemed like a completely unnecessary drawing on a pressure, which nearly led to them scoring a last-minute equaliser. Keeley, of course, I need to mention as well. What a keeper we've got on our hands here. No pun intended. Yes, all right, the bloke that hit the bar was basically because Keeley dropped it, or at least it looked like that. I was looking through 3 posts. But 2 phenomenal saves that kept it at 1-0 in the first half. Allowed us to build on the game. His distribution again was brilliant. What I really like about Keeley is how confident he is with a quick distribution. How many times last season and in previous seasons have we seen Kaminsky, when we've got the chance for a quick counter-attack, hold the ball, look, too late, everyone's back. Not with Keeley. Gets it, delivers it, first time, brilliant. Incredible performance from him. And he's the reason that we won the game, essentially. Look, there'll be people that are complaining and moaning, and I get it completely. The side does not look anywhere near the finished product. I think the only way to play the kind of football that we all want to see is to have more of our attacking players in the position that they need to be. That is a 4 at the back. Oh, I know everybody says it all the time, but it's not about 4 at the back. For me, it's about getting the wingers in the right position. I don't care really about the defenders as much. And 3 at the back is a false narrative that suddenly 3 at the back means that we defend better, because people are just occupying each other's spaces and getting themselves confused. I think Cal and McGuinness for the last couple of games have got in each other's way a few times, and it's not look comfortable there. They've not played together much. Fine. Let's see what happens now Makosso's back next game. And maybe Anderson. Who knows? So that needs to change. My other worry is in midfield. Everybody wants to play in the same position there too. Apart from arguably Zach Nelson, nearly everybody else wants to play a deeper role. We've got some really good players who can play those deeper roles in the pivot. Saville clearly is the consistent in there. But, Baptiste wants to play a deeper role. Walsh wants to play a deeper role. Clark is better playing a deeper role. You can't all put them in the same place. So, what do we do there? I mean, Fanny not even mentioned, didn't get on the pitch, but also generally plays that deeper role too. Okay. I'm not convinced that buying another striker is the answer. I mean, we may well do, and great if we do. But I think it's not just about that. It's the service to them. It's been mentioned before. We've got to get that right first. At the moment, we've got some good deliveries going into the box, but it doesn't happen often enough. And that's because we need players out further wide, our wing players. Bramall, to me, just looks like he needs more game time. I think he showed glimpses of being a really good player, but he's also been isolated going backwards, and his lack of pre-season shows. So I'm not worried about that in the long term, but we still need to recruit a left back 100%, and possibly in the right back area as well. Look, I know Izzy Jones is coming back, etc. Is he a right back? Probably not. He's more of a right winger for me too. Look, so more of a forward-thinking midfielder between 9 and 10. That could be Naki Wells. It could be Zach Nelson. We might not need to recruit there, but it's clearly a position that's missing in that link-up play. And please play players like Ali, Kadura, Jones when he's back in their positions at the wing. It's just so much better to watch. We create so many more chances as well. I think everybody, when we did the phone-in, said that it was going to be a bit of a hard work, 1-0, hard watch. And it was. So we got what we predicted. The real test, of course, is coming on Saturday when we play Cardiff. Does Mikoso start straight away? For me, McGuinness needs some time to build back up. He just doesn't look the player he was. And it's also causing other problems with the people around him as well. So yes, I would probably get Mikoso back in there also for his pace. And if Wells is back, what does that mean in terms of the forward players? I think Yates, again, needs some more time. I would get Wells back in. He's looked most promising, and I think Nordas deserves more of a chance either to start or get more game time as well. I thought he was excellent. But anyway, it's 3 points, 3 wins out of 4. We need to be optimistic, at least, that we have got loads of room to build. Okay. It's not been a disastrous start by any stretch. We all know there are problems there, but I think there are problems that can be solved with a bit more game time in the legs and more players coming back from injury, as well as a couple of new additions. Okay, well, hopefully you agree with some of that. But if you did or you didn't, comment below, like and subscribe. Let's get some more subscriptions. Have a look in the comments for our post-match reaction that we do every Sunday, and our Luton Town show live stream that we do on a Wednesday or a Thursday evening as well. So, on to Cardiff at home. We got the 3 points. Come on, you Hatters.